In this box right here, I have one of the most advanced and innovative keyboards ever created. There are no other keyboards on the market doing what this keyboard can do. There are features on this thing that you are definitely going to want to stick around to see because it will blow your mind. But on top of that, if you're somebody who's looking for a minimalistic, clean setup, or you want maximum productivity, this keyboard is definitely for you. So let's dive in and take a look at the CLVX1. Now, before we dive in, unbox, and check out this insanely cool keyboard, I want to let you guys know about the sponsor of today's video. And if you're a streamer like me who streams on Twitch or any other platform for that matter, you're going to want to hear what I have to say because today's sponsor is a brand new site that's hitting, and it's literally revolutionizing graphics for streamers. And that sponsor is Overlays.Uno. Overlays.Uno is the future of live streaming graphics, and I don't say that lightly. Uno offers real-time web-based graphics to live streamers for free. Now, if you're wondering, real-time overlays are graphics that can be changed, updated, and edited in real time, and they are fully customizable. So for instance, if you need a counter on your stream to track all your wins in your favorite game, just add the counter overlay into your streaming software and add a +1 to either the wins or losses, and it will update on your stream in real time. The best part is these overlays can be controlled from your Elgato Stream Deck using the Uno plugin on the Elgato Marketplace. Uno doesn't just have counter overlays though, they have a ton of different types of overlays, from starting soon countdown clocks to social media rotators, lower thirds to webcam borders, just to name a few. Uno is completely free and powered by one of the most advanced professional broadcasting graphics companies around. So don't wait any longer, go to Overlays.Uno and sign up for your free account today. Massive thank you to Overlays.Uno. Guys, check them out. I've got a link in the description of this video. Go over there, sign up for a free account today. You will not regret it. I'm using their overlays in my stream, and I got to tell you right now, everybody's going to be using Uno before it's all over. Right now, we're just trying to get the word out and let people know that it even exists. So get over there, sign up, and enjoy all of the free overlays that Uno has available. Now, let's dive in and take a look at the CLVX1. And I want to show you guys this because we're going to go ahead and unbox it. I have unboxed it before, but I want you guys to see if it will do it again. I don't know if it's going to do it again or not, but there's this really cool animation that they have whenever you open the box. And I was not able to replicate it after I opened it the first time, but I've had it sitting in the box for a while, and I'm hoping that somehow it will do it again. But when you take the lid off of this box, let's see if it'll do it. Oh, it's not going to do it. Okay, so the first time I opened the box, I took the lid off of the keyboard, and the keyboard lit up in like had this cool animation that went across the display here. I don't think it's going to do it again, and that's kind of unfortunate. Every single one of these keys is backlit, which we're going to talk about, and I'll show you here in just a minute. But I wanted to pull this out of the box and show you because the form factor of this keyboard is absolutely insane. It's got an aluminum body to it with a really tough, very strong, like I guess polycarbonate or some kind of plastic up here on the top, as well as a really nice feeling keyboard. And these are like chiclet style keys, but they've got some really good feedback when you're typing on it. I mean, it's some very good feedback here. It's got a good clickiness to it, and it's also got a very short travel time. So your actuation of these keys is not going to be like a really long press. But the design of this keyboard is so clean and so minimal, and I absolutely love it. So we're going to take a look at that here in just a minute. But I also want to show you guys what comes in the box. Now, there is a braided USB-C to USB-C cable, and I've got the cable right here. It's already plugged into my computer, but the other end looks exactly like this. And it's a pretty nice size little cable, braided, very, very good quality. And that comes in this box here. And then on the other side, you have your instruction manual. And so they've got a quick start guide right here that you can kind of go through and see how to set up the keyboard and that sort of thing. But anyway, very nice, simple, and clean box. I love the way that it comes packaged, and I love this little, they've got like a little pull tab here, so when the keyboard is sitting in the box, you can easily access it just by pulling up on this, and the keyboard pops right out. There it is, guys. So box, very, very, very well done. CLVX1, congratulations on a well-packaged item. We always appreciate good packaging. But here's the keyboard itself, and I want you guys to notice as we just kind of do a look at the physical keyboard itself. It's got your main keyboard over here. It's got your arrow keys. It's got your, of course, options like your insert and home and that sort of thing up here. And then it's got a full numpad over here. So it's a full-size keyboard, but it's very small and sleek. And like I said, it's like an aluminum body, so it feels very high quality. It's also extremely thin. Look how thin that thing is. I mean, that is just absolutely insane. And so it's pretty light. It's pretty, you know, not very like chunky or anything like that, but it also feels solid. Even though it's a light keyboard, it feels like a solid built device. Now I'm going to show you guys on the back here. Let's just turn this over. You've got the brand of the company that makes it, Clevetura, right there. And then of course the CLVX1 is the model. And the only thing on the bottom here that you're really going to notice, other than the, you know, branding and stuff, is you've got these rubber strips all along the front here and then in the back. And then you've also got some pop out feet, and there's a very nice like click. So whenever you pop these feet out, you can really get a real nice feedback that it is out there. Those feet are out there. And when you do that, that allows you to, of course, put the keyboard kind of propped up so that it's much better and easier to type on that way. And honestly, it feels great. The position of the keyboard where it's at, you can rest your hands on the desk, and it's just high enough to not have to have your hands like lifted up like this. Whenever you're doing, you know, like a mechanical keyboard, for instance, I've got one right up here. I've got a hand rest here on the front because it's so tall, you kind of need something to rest your hand on. Otherwise, you're kind of hanging over, right? But in this situation, because of the height and how thin the keyboard is and stuff, it is a perfect height for your hands. And so it feels really, really good. But this keyboard has a lot of features packed into it. It's not just a keyboard at the surface level. So I want to tell you guys a little bit about what it does. But first, we're going to go ahead and plug it in and turn it on, get it connected to our computer, and then we will talk about all of these crazy features. Now, in order to plug in the CLVX1, you just insert your USB-C cable into this USB-C port right here on the keyboard. And we're going to go ahead and do that now. If I can get it lined up, there we go. And now we are plugged in. You can see that there is a little red light up here in the top right hand corner. It's showing us that the keyboard is charging. This keyboard does have a 1900 milliamp battery in it, which they say is about 4 days of normal use with all of the backlights on and that sort of thing. But you can get up to a week of use out of this if you were to turn off some of the features and the backlight and stuff like that. But who wants to turn off all the cool RGB when you can have your keyboard super customized? So, but it's still battery operated, battery powered. And then of course, when you have it plugged into your computer through a USB cable, then it's constantly charging up. But that is not the main part of the keyboard. It's a Bluetooth keyboard. It's got all these features, but the main part of this keyboard is a secret that happens right here. And you can see this white outline right here. That white outline signifies a touchpad. Yes, that is right. There is a touchpad in this keyboard. So we're going to get to all of that. Let's go ahead and turn it on and see what the CLVX1 looks like when it's on. Okay, so to turn it on, we're going to flip this little switch right up here in the top right-hand corner of the keyboard, push it over to the side, and now the keyboard is going to go ahead and come on. You can see the backlit key starting to light up there. And look at that, man, does that not look awesome? And this is the default light setup that they have on the keyboard. I haven't changed any of these, but each one of these keys is individually customizable as far as I understand. So you can actually change the colors of the keyboard and what everything does and that sort of thing. But there it is, looking beautiful. And this keyboard, I'm telling you right now, guys, on a desk, this is on another level. It's on another level. If you don't need like a specific, you know, gaming mechanical keyboard for some reason, or even if you just want to use this for a gaming keyboard, just in general, this is a very nice keyboard. If I'm not specifically gaming, I'm probably going to choose a keyboard like this just because of how clean and, you know, productive a keyboard like this is. Now, this keyboard has, like I said, touch capabilities. And you see when I rub my finger across the keys here, see how they're turning green? It's tracking where my finger is going, and on my screen, it is moving the mouse cursor around. And I'm controlling like I would on a laptop, but just using the keys themselves. Now you may be thinking, well, is that going to mean that like when you're typing on it, you're going to be moving your mouse around? No, this keyboard has an intelligent, you know, system built into it where it can tell the difference between you typing and when your finger moves to type versus like when you're actually trying to move the cursor around. It's pretty crazy, and it does not take any pressure. You don't have to press the keys down. You just barely touch them, and it's just the right amount of pressure to press the keys versus not pressing the keys that allows you to use this like a trackpad on a a laptop. But it's huge. It's a huge trackpad, and it's got these cool effects. There's actually different effects when you move your fingers around on this. You can do different effects, set that up. But it is moving the cursor around. I want to go ahead and try to pull up a dual screen here so you can see the keyboard in action as I'm using it, and that way you can kind of see what we're doing as we're in action here. Okay, so above I've got my desktop right up here. I've also got the Touch One Keys app, which goes along with the CLVX1, and this is how you're going to customize this and really fine-tune this keyboard to be exactly how you want it. And I wanted to show you guys that as I move my mouse around, you can see I'm moving it around and it is extremely responsive. I mean, look at that. That's absolutely insane. It's going exactly where I tell it to go with my finger. And the cool part about it is, as I go across here, it is tracking. It's putting, the green behind my finger. I go across the keyboard. It's lighting up green with this cool little fade effect. And my mouse is following it in perfect sync. You guys can see if I go back and forth. See that? I mean, it's insane. It's exactly where I'm wanting to put the cursor. So this operates basically as a full controller for your computer, and this operates on Windows 10, Windows 11. It's limited on Linux, and then it operates on like Android and iOS almost in full capacity. I think the most robust version of it is on Windows, but Linux is going to be a little bit more limited. So anyway, it's available. You can use it in any of those applications. But I wanted to show you guys, we're going to try to reconnect the keyboard here. This is the first time I'm actually connecting it. We're going to try this out. And I just tapped on the keys. I didn't push them all the way down. I just tapped on the keys, and it recognizes that as a left mouse click, right? And so it's searching for a connected device. Let's see if it'll connect. Now, this app will be released with the keyboard. I believe it's coming sometime in September of 2024. And so anyway, I'm getting this you guys are getting a first look at the app itself while we look at this keyboard. But for some reason, no keyboard found. Let's try again, or contact support. Okay, so we're having trouble with the connection here. Let me try a few things and we'll see if we can get this sorted out. Okay, I've tried a few different things, and I've been trying to connect this, and I've restarted the programs and done a bunch of different things, and I cannot get the keyboard to connect to the Touch On Keys app. Now, I'm gonna reach out to the CLVX1 team and talk to them about that, and I'm sure they'll help us get it figured out. When this launches in September, this shouldn't be a problem, but whatever it is that's causing me to not be able to, connect, I'm sure it's just some type of little bug. But this app will be how you can update the firmware of the keyboard and, of course, customize it, change the colors of all the backlight keys, and exactly what all it does. So that's a bummer. I wish I could show you this app in this video, but maybe once we get it fixed, we can take a look at that at some point in another video. So anyway, I want to show you guys a little bit of this keyboard in action. So let's go ahead and minimize that. Let's pull up the classic Microsoft Paint. So we've got Paint set up. I did that, of course, using just the keyboard. I'm not using a mouse at all for this. And we've gone ahead and set up Paint. And I want to show you guys, if I was to to draw, this will give you kind of an idea of the input that you can use with this keyboard. So if I just press and hold, it's going to move around the cursor. But if I double tap, now it's going to draw on the paper, and it's going to follow my finger around. Okay. Now what's crazy about this is if you double tap, the same thing applies to like moving a window. So for instance, if I just tap once, my cursor is just going to move around. But if I double tap, now I can actually move the window around, which once you get used to that, it's kind of like having a trackpad on a laptop. But let's say that you're one of the people like me. I'm used to, on a laptop, using physical left and right buttons on underneath the trackpad. If your laptop has those, well, this keyboard does down here have physical left and right buttons, and you can actually see those. If I hold this up, you can see there's little tactile raised bars on both sides. You've got a left and a right click, and if you prefer not to use only touch inputs, but you want to use an actual button for your left and right click, then you can use those. And so in that case, if I wanted to, I could just keep my left hand down here, and anytime I wanted to draw, I just press and hold left, and now I can draw. And then when I let go, it's just moving the cursor around. So you can do that. If you right click, it's going to give you any type of right click options that you would normally have. And there you go. I mean, it's extremely intuitive and it's extremely easy. Now, if I go up here and let's say we erase all of this, you can see as I'm erasing this stuff, I mean, I can get extremely precise with where I'm erasing. You know what I mean? I can follow the lines if I want to with my finger. And I mean, it's incredible how good this thing is. So really, this keyboard gives you maximum flexibility. Now I'm using this as an art tool, but this is so much more robust than just using it as an art tool. And I wanted to show you guys, you can even see how I'm scrolling the page. In fact, let's go ahead and let's just draw a smiley face over here. All right. Now, if I put 2 fingers on the keyboard, let's just do 2 fingers here. See how it lights up? And now I'm in scroll mode. So I'm actually scrolling this entire page up and down with my 2 fingers here, just like you would on some, laptop touchpads. But this actually has up to 4 finger inputs. And so depending on what you're wanting to do, whether you're wanting to swipe pages or things like that, it'll recognize up to 4 fingers at the same time for different types of gestures, which is incredible. But that is not all. How does it do with typing applications? All right, so Notepad, something everybody's pretty familiar with, or at least at some point you've probably used. And if I'm going to be typing, it's of course going to type just like anything else. I'm a hunter and pecker, so I don't actually, type. If you're somebody that's good at typing, you're going to love this keyboard. For me though, I really like it because it's good for hunting and pecking as well. And I can just type in. If I don't fat finger my keys. There it is, right? And you can type in whatever you want. If I want to move around, of course, on my cursor here, I can just go and click anywhere I want just by tapping the top of the keys there. You can also tell down here this little round green dot. If I'm using it as an input, right, it's green. And then if I'm typing, it turns blue. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see it in the camera very well, but it changes colors and it turns from blue to green depending on what you're doing, and it recognizes the type of input you have. So whenever you're moving around and you've got the green following your finger, you've also got the green dot there. But if you start typing and it thinks you're typing, then it's going to turn blue. And so that's the touch on keys. It basically is showing you what it's recognizing, and it's extremely accurate, guys. I can't stress this enough. It's extremely accurate. Now, if I need to highlight something, I can just double tap and I can drag across and I can highlight what I need to, work on. Let's say we need a backspace there and then type something else. And then, of course, if I need to, move the page, then I can do that with the 2 fingers. But what happens when you do 3 fingers? Well, by default, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not, but if I put 3 fingers on the keyboard, it's going to recognize 3 fingers as basically an alt tab. So it's going to recognize it as you switching whatever, program or application you're running. So for instance, if I want to switch between Notepad and then I hold 3 fingers and I move over and I want to go back to Microsoft Paint, I can bring up Microsoft Paint, and I'm not actually going and clicking in my taskbar. I'm literally just putting 3 fingers and then I'm swiping left or right, and I can switch between the programs I'm using. So it's an alt tab right at your fingertips, which is really, really, really cool. And then if you do 4 fingers and you press up, you're going to go into your desktop mode, and it's going to show you your applications individually like that. So the 4 fingers up and down is going to allow you to go in and out of what you're using. And so that's another way you can do it. And you can go back in it. If you want to see what you have open, you can literally just go back and forth. You can 4 fingers, scroll up, see what you got open, and then you can go back down to whatever application you're using. Now, another cool thing about this keyboard is that this bar at the top here, see how it's yellow and purple? Well, this is actually 2 different adjustments on the keyboard itself. If you start on the yellow side and you slide up and down, you're actually adjusting the brightness of the backlit keys themselves. And so it's going up or down. And you'll notice that as you adjust, see how the yellow increases or decreases? It's telling you how bright the keyboard is. So when it's all the way up here to the right side, it's the brightest that it'll go. And when it goes down, like if you want it like halfway, you put it like right in there, right? And it's about halfway. So the yellow keys are going to be about halfway. I put it back on the yellow side and I can turn it all the way up to full brightness. Now, what about the purple side? Well, if I start on the purple side, which is also your media keys, you've got the play pause button, you've got the forward and backward button, the mute button, things like that. if I slide there, it's going to actually increase and decrease the volume of my computer. So my desktop volume. But what happens if I have like a media program open? Well, let's test that out. Okay, so I've pulled up Epidemic Sound, which is the site that I use for all my DMCA free music because I've got an account with them. I am an ambassador with Epidemic Sound, and I want to encourage you guys to check out the link in the description if you want to try it out for a month. If you're looking for copyright free music, this is the place to go. And this is the music I use in all of my videos. So we're going to go over and test out some of this music here, and we're going to test out the media controls feature. If I go in here and I play, let's say this song right here, and then I turn the volume down. Look at that. Now it is turning up my, it's turning up and down my, my desktop volume. See, you can easily adjust your volume. You can easily adjust your volume that way. It's amazing. It's fantastic. And then you see that right there? There's a hotkey on F11, and it's got the little mute button icon, and I can mute my desktop audio just by clicking that button right there. I can also pause. Hitting F9 is the hotkey for pausing. So you've basically got all of your media controls right here on that hotbar on the purple section. And so it shows you, and then if you need play, pause, backwards, forwards, or if you want your settings, you can click that button and it actually brings up like your settings and notifications menu of your computer. And then on the yellow side, not only do you have the brightness control, but you also have the ability to, like, for instance, if you hit F2, it's going to bring up your emoji window. And then you can use emotes on anything you're typing on, which normally you'd have to press the Windows button plus the period button on your keyboard to bring up emotes, and then you can type them into anywhere that you're inputting text. And if you guys didn't know that, then there you go. But they've got a hotkey for it right up there, so something that you might use on a regular basis when writing out an email or whatever. And if you guys want to see what these little symbols are that I'm talking about, let me show you these really quick. Okay, so if you can see this, at the very top of the keyboard, the yellow section's got, you know, like your emojis. They're basically like hotkeys for different things that you might want to get to very quickly on your keyboard. And then you've got your media buttons over here. And so that's what we were doing a minute ago. Let's go ahead and let's press this. There we go. You can mute right there. You can skip tracks. Isn't that cool? That's awesome. Okay, we're going to go ahead and mute this really quick. And then if we go over here to F12, we press that. Check it out. We've got a calculator that pops up. There's a lot more. There's hotkeys up there at the top of the keyboard that we haven't even like gone through yet. There's you know, hotkeys over here on this side. You know, screenshot and that sort of thing. Key tap, you can turn on and off and change some settings there, as well as you've got 3 different Bluetooth buttons, which these allow you to connect to up to 3 different Bluetooth devices, and you can just switch between whether you want to be wired or Bluetooth 1, 2, or 3. And then you've got all of your other, you know, hotkeys that normally come on a keyboard, all around the keyboard as well, and some other cool features. I mean, this thing is chocked full of features, you guys. So we've looked at some of the main features of the CLVX1, but this keyboard has tons and tons and tons of stuff wrapped up inside of it. And this video's already been long enough, so I can't dive into each individual thing, but I wanted to show you their website and tell you how you can not only look deeper into the keyboard itself, but also, you know, if you want to pick one up for yourself, where you can get a hold of them. Okay, and here we are on Clevetura.com, their website. Now, some things have changed since the first time I recorded this section of this video, so I'm actually re-recording this as I'm editing everything. But Clevetura.com is where you go to find the CLVX1. It used to have its own website. They've merged it into this one website. Also, some things have changed. For instance, initially and in the video, you heard me say that it was going to come out in September 2024. Well, that has changed to November of 2024, which they do mention right over here under the gestures keyboard, you know, where you can add it to your cart and pre-order it. And so that has changed, as well as the website has a different layout, but they've got a ton of information in here. So I wanted to give you guys the updated version of this right before this video goes out, but come over here, check out all the features, go into more depth about some of the things that we talked about and some things that we didn't even get to cover in this video. You can see some of the videos that they did. One of the big things I want to point out though is if you guys want to order a CLVX one for yourself, you can pre-order it right now on their website. I'm going to have a link down in the description of this video directly to this page, so you can come over here and check it out, and if you want to order one, you can. And then the cost on this is $219 right now, so no telling whether this will go up when it comes out or whether it'll stay the same. But if you would like one and you'd like to get a pre-order in, you can do that now right from their website and not have to go through what they were using originally, which was like Kickstarter and Indiegogo. Now it's just right through their website, right from the company. So I just wanted to point you guys in this direction because this will tell you more about the keyboard, and you can really dive into the fine details that we didn't have time to cover in this video. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for watching this dive into the CLVX1. Like I said, there's a lot more to it, so check out their website and learn even more about this awesome new piece of tech. I think they did a great job on it, and I'm excited to see where this goes in the future. With that being said, you guys, hit that like button for me if you like this video. I greatly appreciate it. And leave me a comment down in the description below letting me know what your thoughts on the CLVX1 are. Are you thinking about getting one for yourself? Does it look like it would, fill a gap within your tech and workspace that would really kind of increase your productivity? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell if you want to know when videos like this go live here on my YouTube channel. And come hang out with us on Twitch at twitch.tv/EagleGarrett. I live stream over there, usually playing games and hanging out with the community, so you can swing on by anytime, ask questions about this stuff, or just come chill and watch some games with us, play some games with us. As well as I've got links for our Discord server down in the description and all my social media. So if you want to, hang out with the community on Discord or come follow me on social media, I've got all that down below as well. And in addition to that, of course, links for the CLVX1, links for our sponsor, overlays.uno. Check them out. I promise you'll love them. And for Epidemic Sound, if you like, the music that we played earlier, and you need some good music that you can play without worrying about DMCA strikes. So check all of that down in the description, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until the next video, rock on, peace out, God bless. And last but not least, cacao! Oh my gosh, no way. I just direct shot this guy with a rocket launcher.